Hello students, today we'll see the conservative property of electric field and electric force. We know that field is said to be conservative when work done is independent of path followed. Whichever path you follow between initial and final point, if work remains same, then the field is said to be conservative field. Earlier in 11th standard, we saw that gravitational field is conservative field and gravitational force is conservative force. So let us check today if electric field is also conservative field or not. So let us start. To understand today's topic, we need to have basics of work done in case of electric field clear. So we know that in uniform electric field, whenever we displace a charge in the direction of electric field, the work done can be given as W is equal to plus QET, because QE force and displacement D both are in the same direction. Similarly, if you are moving charge Q, suppose you are giving it displacement D in uniform electric field E, but then in the direction opposite to the electric field, how much is the work done in that case? So in that case, work done can be given as minus QED, because QE force and displacement D both are in opposite direction. And if you are talking about non-uniform electric field, then the work done can be given as Q into integration of electric field over displacement from infinity to P point, or from initial point to final point. So with this prerequisites clear, we are eligible to start with today's topic. Let us start. Let us consider a Cartesian coordinate system with the axes x, y, z as shown here, and let O be the origin. And we'll place our source charge Q at the origin, and in the electric field of this source charge Q, we'll have 2 points, A at position vector RA and point B at position vector RB as shown here. And we'll consider a charge at point A, and we'll see how much is the work done to take it to point B. So we have several paths possible. We can directly go from point A to point B following this path, or else we may be following some other uneven path. So there are many possibilities, out of which we consider two possibilities. First, we consider uh, point C on OB in such a way that OC and OA both are same. So we consider C in such a way that OC and OC and OA both are same. It means whatever is the electric field intensity at point C, same is the intensity at point A. And then we consider one more point. Here we have one option to go from A to C to B. First, we can take our test charge, say small q, from A to C, and then we can go from C to B. Other possibilities, we can consider a point D in such a way that OD is equal to OB. So if we consider D point such that it is satisfying this condition, OD is equal to OB, then we have one more possible path. First, we can take our small charge Q from point A to point D, and then we can go from D to B. So we'll try to find out work done corresponding to A to C to B, A to C to B, and then A to D to B. These two paths we'll consider to find work done, and then we'll see whether work done following path ACB, which we will label as path 1, and work done corresponding to path ADP, which we will label as part 2. Both works are same or not. The advantage of choosing these points C and D is that when you are following path A to C, for every small displacement, if you look at the direction of electric field, E and D will always be perpendicular. So electric field and displacement will be perpendicular. So work done to go from A to C or work done to go from D to B will always be 0, because the path length or the displacement and electric field are perpendicular. So that is why we have chosen C and D, satisfying these two conditions. OC is equal to OA and OD is equal to OB. So let us try to find out work done corresponding to path ACB. We'll call it W1, and work done corresponding to path ADB. We'll call it part 2, and work done is W2. So first for ACB, what is the condition? While going from A to C, as I said, electric field and displacement both are perpendicular. So from A to C, I am not spending any energy. When I go from A to C, work done is 0. But from C to B, when I go, electric field is from C to B and displacement is also from C to B. So my work done will be non-zero. Similarly, if I consider second path, say A to D to B, from A to D I have electric field from A to D, displacement also from A to D, so there is some non-zero work done. Whereas from D to B when I go, electric field and displacement as shown here are mutually perpendicular, and so work done for D to B path will be 0. Work done to move charge Q from point D to point B will be 0. So for first path ACB, if we say that work done is W1, then W1 can be given as integration from A to B QE dot dr. But we can always divide A to B path as A to C and C to B. What is the advantage? Advantage is that we know that for A to C path, the work done is 0. Why 0? Because electric field and displacement both are mutually perpendicular. And for B to C, what is the advantage? When you consider B to C path, electric field and displacement both are parallel to each other. So cos theta will be cos 90. Sorry, uh, cos theta will be cos 0, that is 1. So using these facts, we have our equation 2 and 3. Look at equation 2. We have cos 90 because electric field and displacement are perpendicular for path AC. Okay, and look at third equation. We have cos 0. Why cos 0? Because electric field and displacement both are parallel for B to C path. So ultimately, here A to C path will have 0. B to C path we can get rid of vector sign, and then we have our equation 4, which is W1 is equal to integration C to B QE dr. Now let us check what is happening for second path A to D to B. So when we try to find out work done for path A to B, D to B, we label it as W2. We can say that W2 can be given as integration from A to B QE dot dr, and again just like previous case we'll divide A to B in terms of A to D and D to B. Now what is the advantage from D to B? As I said, for this path D to B, electric field and displacement both are perpendicular, so work done will be 0. This integration will be 0. So A to D, when we consider, electric field and displacement both are in the same direction, so cos theta is 0. Sorry, cos theta is cos 0, that is 1. And what will happen when we go from another path D to B? So D to B, when we go, work done can be given as QEDR cos 90. What is cos 90? 0. And if we substitute 6 and 7 in equation 5, what do we get? We have W2 is equal to 0 plus integration a to d QE dr. Okay, so this is the work done for second path a to d to b. Let us compare these two. So we'll compare work done W1 and work done W2 for the two different paths A to C to B and A to D to B. The paths are as shown here. In this case, first we go from A to C and then we go from C to B. Whereas in second case, we first go from A to D and then we go from D to B. So what we did in case of W1? In case of W1, we chose the integration from A to B and then we divided A to B in terms of two integrations. First from A to C and then from C to B. Which of the two is being 0? A to C, this integration goes down to 0. What is the reason? Because electric field and displacement both are mutually perpendicular, so work done to go from A to C becomes 0. And what is the advantage here? In second integration, electric field is from C to B. Field line is going outward from charge Q, this charge Q, and so electric field is from C to B and displacement is also from C to B. So it is like QE dr cos 0, and hence we have W1 is equal to 0 plus integration C to B QE dr. That was our fourth equation, right? And what about the second path? In second path, we said that work done W2 for part 2 can be given as W2 is equal to A to B integration QE dot dr. And then again we divided this integration also in terms of 2, A to D QE dot dr and D to B QE dot dr. And what is happening from B to D path? Again, just like previous case, electric field and displacement both are mutually perpendicular for this path, and so work done will be 0. So this integration reduces down to 0. And here electric field and displacement both are in the same direction, just like C to B path. And so we can get rid of vector sign, and hence W2 can be given as 0 plus A to D QE dr. Now, if you remember, we chose C point in such a way that OC is equal to OA, and then consequently we have CB is equal to AD. Now apply this to equation 4 and equation 8. So we can say that W1 and W2 both are same because AD is equal to CB, which is very clear from the figure also. And hence we can say that work done for path ACB and work done for path ADB both are same. What does it mean? It means that whichever path you follow, work done remains same. So electric field is conservative field. So at the end we can conclude that work done to move any charge in electric field is independent of the path followed, and hence we can say that electric field is conservative field and electrostatic force is conservative force. So that was the topic. I hope you could understand it. Thank you.